In Colts Watch, Angela Morian joins us live from Grand Park as training camp begins to wind down.
And Angela, Colts wide receiver showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon, huh?
Yeah, no, not at all. All the receivers, in fact, sparking this week in training camp and against the Lions on Saturday. Today was the last, we'll say, real practice of training camp, at least outside. Colts moving to practice tomorrow indoors. So that means, fans, if you're planning on coming out tomorrow, it's only going to be the first 750 fans let into the event center, so plan accordingly. But as training camp winds down, it's time for the questions to get answers. Jonathan Taylor was specifically looking at how the Colts are going to clean up situational football. Meanwhile, Michael Pittman Jr. is focused on getting those younger guys, as he says, he's only been in 2 years in the league, but younger guys some more reps. Speaking of those young receivers, they've shown a lot of promise and a lot of growth over this training camp period. There's been a lot of talk about who's going to support Pittman around that wide receiver room. However, what about MPJ himself? He had a breakout year, over 1,000 receiving yards last year. He says he's been getting a lot of work with quarterback Matt Ryan off the field. Today, he was Ryan's #1 target and has been for the last couple weeks. We'll expect to see that against the Bucs on Saturday as well. He might have had over 1,000 yards last year in his breakout year. However, the NFL's leading rushing leader says he's only going to get better.
You know he's a dog. You guys seen it last year. But now how he's just perfected his craft. I mean, you just look at his route running. I mean, I don't even know how he cleaned it up even more because he was already a good route runner. But he's cleaned it up even more. I mean, I just feel sorry for the DBs that have to cover him this year.
We have a bunch of guys that most people don't really know about yet, just because they haven't had the opportunity. It's not because they're not talented. It's not because they're not good enough. It's just because we're all young guys, you know. People consider me to be a vet, but I've only been in the league for 2 years. I'm going on my third. So we just got a lot of young players, and I think that they're ready to grow and then show everybody what they're about.
So the receiver question, maybe that's been answered. We'll see this Saturday. But the injury question is still prevalent. I'll have an update from right here in Westfield coming up at 6:50. Plus, apparently there's been a decision made in Bloomington. Hear from Coach Tom Allen on who will be starting for the Hoosiers, for IU this season. Also, Jeff Gordon is making his return to NASCAR right here in Indy. We'll have a full story on that coming up later in sports.